There's Andy.
Hello, everyone.
We're good? We're good. All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order at what time here? 4:34. The first business is to approve the minutes from our June meeting. Those are in your packets. I don't see Bob on the call. He's usually are. Anyone have any edits, anything that needs to be done on the minutes from the June meeting?
No, Matt, they look good.
Thanks, Mark. Can we get a motion?
I'll offer in the absence of Bob.
Thanks, Mark. A second.
Second.
Roll call. Roll call. Andy, please.
Chairman Beck,
Yes.
Carol Shinneman, Robert Harris, Cheryl Reese,
Aye.
Mark Kowalczyk,
Aye.
Amanda Riccio, Lori Weingart. Pass.
Thank you. Communications. There are none for this month. Public comments. I don't see anyone else on, right? Good. Let me check quick. No. Okay, there's no one else from the public on, so we'll move on to, there's no chair's report, director's report.
Yeah, just to give you a quick update on the child care feasibility study. We developed over the past month, the actual survey that's going to be going out to the businesses along with their employees, and that's being released tomorrow to them, right? Vinny, we send out tomorrow or
Tomorrow or Monday morning.
tomorrow or early next week. So that survey will go out, and we'll try to get as many employees up in a couple of the quarters as possible through their businesses. And then from there, we're going to reach out to probably between 7 and 8 various businesses to actually, sit down and meet with them with regards to that. So that project's moving along pretty well. And as you know, we hired Camoy out of Saratoga to do that through the CRC. So that project is moving forward. And update you on a couple other projects that we have going on earlier via email. So if you guys have got any questions on those projects, feel free to contact the office on that and give you exactly what's going on.
Any questions? All right, we'll move right into the financial report. Sheila, please.
Yep, that's included in your packet. There's nothing unusual to report on the financials. The revolving loan fund is also included as of July 31st. Just as a reminder, the deferment that we had with the county, there was like 4 or 5 of the borrowers that took advantage of that. So you'll see 3 or 4 of them that show the date of last payment prior to July, but we received it the first part of August. So I considered that as acceptable payment. So you'll see them all as being current. The only one I really have a concern with is number 10, which I've emailed and haven't heard back from yet. So I'll be working closely to monitor them. You'll also see Eisenadler Bruja they started with their, they closed last month, so they started with their first payment too in July.
Great. Thanks for pointing that out. I didn't actually see that one, so thank you.
Yeah, and then Sheila, too, the other thing is the actual loan visits. Usually we do loan visits in August, obviously. And you get a report by now. Obviously, you really couldn't go visit any of those companies. So what we're doing, what Sheila and Vinny have been doing is just basically, going and checking up with them via phone right now. So you'll get a report in September if we have a meeting. If not, then you'll get the actual annual
Yeah,
report.
I emailed and sent a letter to everyone, to collect all the information that I would normally receive during the summer. A couple of them have sent it, but their deadline is next Friday. So.
Awesome. Anyone have any questions, comments on any of the financial reports or the revolving loan fund? All right,
No, sir, everything looked good. Thank you, Matt.
you're welcome. Marketing report.
Yeah, so we've really been pushing the Buy It Montgomery campaign still, and we just got a first draft of the website this week. So we went through that, and first draft looks nice, but we just sent them over today, a bunch of edits and different pictures and things that we want to use and change on the website. But there's going to be a lot of interaction on the website for businesses and consumers as well. So I think it'll turn out very well. We have about probably 45 businesses pre-signed up, and we could get a couple, we keep getting a couple every day, a couple 10, 15 every week. But I think there'll be a high uptick in people signing up once the website's launched and we really start pushing it out again. So we're making progress there. Yeah, anything else, Ken? Does anyone want to go over?
No, I don't think so. You guys should start seeing the Windows decals. We've been handing them out sporadically to various businesses and some of these main streets. Staff has gone out to some of the western part of the county and started populating those storefronts with the decals that we had ordered part of this too. So, we're kind of excited about it. The web, like Vinny said, we did get a look at the website this week. We had about a 2-hour call, WebEx on it. So we went through it in pretty good detail, had some comments back, and Fire Solutions sat on the call with us. They're heavily involved in everything we do with regards to with the marketing program here, working with staff. So everything went well, and once we get to the point, we're excited. We'll be excited to present it to you guys before it actually goes to a live launch.
Benny,
Yes.
tomorrow I'm doing my bi-weekly hand sanitizer delivery. So if you want to get me some of those decals, when I take the hand sanitizers to the businesses, I can pass them out.
Yeah, I'll drop some off tomorrow for you.
Okay, thanks.
I think.
Yep. Hey, Bob.
Thank you, Cheryl. That's a great idea.
You're welcome.
Mr. Harris, we approved the minutes without you. Sorry. We got him on mute.
He's on mute.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna unmute himself.
Bob, you gotta unmute yourself.
Okay,
Okay.
Perfect.
finally, I've been 15 minutes trying to get on.
Oh,
That's why I come here, Bob, or else I'd never be able to do it. Any unfinished business? None? So on to the new business. There's two resolutions that are in the packets this month. The first one is the Florida Park extension for the sewer lateral. Ken, you want to just?
Yeah, I will. It was in your packet. You guys saw the, basically the request for a quote that went out. This is in relation to the northern side of the property in the Florida Business Park extension. There's the force main is actually on the northern side to feed any businesses that go over on the northern side. However, where the tie off is for that, it's on IDA property, and there's got to be a directional bore underneath the new road that we put in order to get to the Beta Blend property line so that they can hook up to it. So obviously time was of the essence for this. We sent out, we reached out, Primate reached out to various companies that could do a directional bore in the time frame that we needed, which would be by the end of this month. So we did everything in accordance with our procurement policy at the IDA level. There were some that just could not meet the timeline that we reached out to. And you could see from the packet, we received five official quotes. Two of them were obviously extremely high, and then the other three were right about the right number. And it's a good number that we were looking at actually. And Primate did reach out to Bellamy Construction to make sure they understood the project and they could get it done by the end of August, and they confirmed that they could. So all this work is on IDA property. Obviously, this just takes it and puts a stub into the Beta Blend property so that they can hook up and hopefully start operations by October, November this year. So the resolution you have before you is to award the contract to, and in those blanks would be Bellamy Construction Company Incorporated, and the dollar amount would be for $14,500. So that's the resolution that's before you right now. And I open it up, we open it up for any questions that you may have in relation to this.
Any discussion on it?
No, Matt, I reviewed the bid spec and the packages, and it looks good. I'm surprised to see how high two of the bidders were, but the others all seem in line.
Good. Can we have a first on the resolution?
Yeah,
Bob Harris, second.
I'll second.
Mark, Andy, a roll call, please.
Sure. Robert Harris,
yes,
Chairman Beck,
Yes.
Carol Shinneman, absent. Cheryl Reese,
Aye.
Amanda Riccio,
Aye.
and Mark Kowalczyk,
Yes.
and Lori Weingart, absent. Motion passes.
Thank you. The second resolution that we have in the packet tonight is the cell tower lease in the Florida Business Park.
Yeah, I'll give a brief introduction on this, and I'll turn it over to Attorney Scott, who's joining us as well to explain a little bit further, because this originated before my time, or any of my time here, actually, and any of the board members' time. This goes back to in 95, 96, when the county was looking and the IDA was looking to develop the Florida Business Park, the original Florida Business Park, where Target and Beechnut are now. When we went to acquire the property from David Hewitt, there was actually, he already had an agreement with Sprint PCS at the time for a cell tower on his property. So the agreement with the IDA in order to obtain the property was that he could retain, in that lease agreement itself, he would retain the revenue associated with that lease, because it was already in place when we acquired the property from him. That lease was for a total of 25 years with various renewals in there at a set price that they negotiated. That lease with him does expire in, I believe it's June of 2021. So they approached us probably 5-6 months ago to see if we would be willing to continue to entertain that lease through the IDA, obviously, because the lease with Mr. Hewitt would expire. And they proposed terms to us at a dollar amount. I believe it's $24,000. Starts at $24,000 per year with a 3% escalator. The first term, I believe, is 5 years with 3 or 4 5-year renewals on top of it. So I think it's like a total of 20 years, 20-year lease. So this would be revenue to to the IDA. And Joe, you want to add anything to that?
Sure. And thank you, Ken. Everyone can hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
So as Ken indicated, this was originally done back in 1996. Mr. Hewitt kept the benefit of the transaction as part of the transfer of the property. The new lease would run between the cell phone company, if you will, or the owner of the property, which is now STC5 LLC, and the IDA. As Ken indicated, it's a 5-year lease with four. It's a 5-year lease with 4 5-year extensions. So yeah, they don't have it written really clearly. It's a 1-year lease with 4 5-year extensions. So a total of 21 years. It is $24,000 a year annual, 3% a year escalator. There is a signing bonus of $5,000 payable upon the execution of the lease. The provisions have, obviously use by the cell phone, by the tower owner. They indicate that they won't interrupt the use of any of the properties surrounding the cell phone tower. There's indemnification back and forth that's even-handed. There's obligations to indemnify and to provide insurance. And again, I'm reviewing it to make sure that it's consistent with the original lease. But what it does is basically continue the original transaction, the original facility, but instead of Mr. Hewitt being the beneficiary, it'll be the IDA. And I'm open
So are you
to
saying,
questions.
are you saying that the previous lease was for the same amount?
No, it's actually difficult to because the old lease is not doesn't have the amounts in it. They sent us copies. We weren't the actual holder of that lease, so we don't have that information. But there is obviously a new amount, and the amount for this transaction is $24,000 annually with a 3% escalator.
So that's $2,000 a month. I was under an understanding that they're running about $3,000 a month on their leases. Is there any way we can find out?
I don't know, Joe, would we be privy to that information of a contract between a private individual and cell company?
No, but I mean, Mr. Harris, I mean, you know, appraisers often have this information. Where would we verify, not this lease, but market rate?
We could certainly reach out if that's something that that would be something, Ken, we could reach out and do a little due diligence.
Yeah,
Ken, I can talk to you later about it, Ken, if you'd like.
yeah, there are some sources, Bob, that we can look at.
So what we could do is we could, assuming it's the sense of the board, we could approve the lease subject to finalization of costs by review of staff and council with some support of the board members to finalize the lease payment, the actual lease payment.
Right, because the resolution before you right now, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, is basically just to authorize the signing of the actual, lease, the lease agreement. But I mean, we can negotiate that out still, just knowing to the board that it wouldn't be less than what was proposed.
Absolutely. Yep. Section 2 of the resolution indicates that it's subject to final review.
Okay.
Yep.
Would we be doing a separate resolution for the amount?
What you could do is just delegate to, as part of this. I mean, if you want to have a separate resolution at the next meeting, but again, it's not that unusual to say, look, we're approving the concept of the lease. We're willing to accept the 24,000 annual payment, but we want staff to go back and reach and do a little more due diligence as to the actual amount. And if assuming and based on that work, the higher amount, assuming that, then obviously it would be a higher amount, that would be the ultimate amount approved and executed in the lease.
Sounds like a plan to me.
So Joe, when you mentioned that section 2 allows us to approve it, the final piece, could that be done via email as opposed to doing another resolution? Is that an acceptable approach? And then we don't have to worry about doing an additional resolution. So if we said, Ken, give us some research and let us know what the other is, one, I don't really want to go back and forth with them too much over. I mean, if it's a significant amount of money, it's worth our efforts, but to go back and forth, weighing the costs of time professionals on this. Perfect.
Right.
So, Joe, we could approve this resolution and then just do the approval over email on the final figures.
And actually, my view is you don't even need the subsequent approval. You can approve it, and Ken could send an email out saying, hey, the number that we agreed to, or that we developed based on our due diligence.
Yes, and then we could just update the next meeting minutes with the final amount and approve those minutes, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Very good, sir.
Yep.
Awesome. Any other discussion or comments on it? Thank you, our esteemed legal counsel. That was very well done.
Thank you, Chair.
Can we get a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make a motion.
Thanks, Cheryl. A second?
Second.
Amanda, thank you. Andy, roll call, please.
Cheryl Reese,
Aye.
Chairman Beck,
Aye.
Carol Shinneman's absent, Robert Harris,
Yes.
Mark Kowalczyk,
Yes.
Amanda Riccio,
Yes.
Lori Weingart absent, motion passes.
Thanks, Andy. That's all the business that we had for this meeting, correct?
Yes, it is. Like I said, the governor, I believe, governor's executive order runs out September 4th with regards to these types of remote meetings. If he extends it, obviously, we'll let you know. But if there's any way possible that we can, as the county legislature has done, get everybody together in person for the next meeting, even if we move it to the legislative chambers, we'll probably look to do that because we'll be working on we're going to start looking at our budget. And by that time, we may have some information on some projects that we're working on. So to get everybody back together again this fall, that's what we're shooting for. So hopefully this will be the last one that we do. And obviously, if anybody's uncomfortable with that, we'll work with. And the executive order say does expire. And anybody's still uncomfortable potentially coming and meeting in person, we'll discuss with legal counsel if it's possible and legal for you guys to join by a Zoom meeting. So, I mean, we understand, everybody has, their own feelings on everything. So we'll try to accommodate the best we can as much as possible, you guys.
Thanks, Ken. Can we get a motion for the adjournment?
I'll offer, Matt.
Thanks, Mark. A second?
No, I'll offer it.
Thanks, Bob. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, enjoy the rest of the summer. Thank you very much. 4:57.
Thank you. Good to see you all. Take care.
Good to see
see you,
everyone.
Everybody.
Take
Bye-bye.
care, everybody.
Thank you.